2.9 million naira.
Don't use shame to accommodate things I cannot do. Your starting point should not be finding a job. Your starting point should always be occupation list. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided to, change things a little bit today, and I changed where I'm filming from. One, because I'm extremely tired, but I'm committed to film this video today. And two, just because I love change. So let's get right into it. Long time no Q&A. So the other day, I posted a Q&A stuff on my, I don't even know what it's called, a Q&A tag on my Insta story on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please follow your girl. I'm actually working so hard to grow that page. But yeah, I posted Q&A on Instagram, and then I also posted one in the community, and I even think the community had more questions than Instagram. That's to show that a lot of people are not following me on Instagram. But thanks guys for sending through your questions and your suggestions. They help me when I have memory blow and like I'm struggling of what to film. So I do appreciate that a whole lot. Thanks guys. So I think Instagram didn't have a lot. So let's start with Instagram, and then we'll move to the YouTube community questions, and that's what I'm going to be using my laptop for, because some of them we need to go into details and go on some websites. So let's start with the Instagram one. What are the best sites to look for jobs? I will try with this video in the description. I will link a lot of things for you guys. I have several videos where I explain where you can find jobs, but the simple answer is you can find jobs on Indeed, you can find jobs on Seek, you can find jobs on LinkedIn, you can even find jobs on Google, on Jora. There's LinkedIn, there's all those sites. You can find jobs there. But we'll get to the point of why you're searching for those jobs, because sometimes that's not your starting point. But there's one question that I think we'll use as a case study for this video. So let's get to the next question. The next question says, have you made friends with the locals? Tell us about your relationship with them. I have locals as my friends. I have locals as my colleague, if that makes sense. I don't really have a lot of locals. See, the way Australia is not like Nigeria, or it's not like back home, let's just say, or Africa, that when you are the neighbor, your neighbor is your friend, and like you start building that community or family. Because in Nigeria, every your neighbor is almost your sister or your cousin. But no, I don't, it's not that way here. I've lived here for close to a year now. I don't even know my neighbor's name. They are not locals. The person in front of us is Indian. The person by our side, I think, is New Zealander. So like, they're not locals. Regardless, we're still not close. So I don't really have friends that are locals. And where will I meet them? Likely I will meet them is in the office, and I'm not an advocate for office friendship. And the people I'm even close to in the office are not necessarily locals, but the few locals around are quite nice. I have few people in my office, colleagues, that are quite nice. So not necessarily friendship. And like I said in my previous video, I take the word friendship very seriously, so I don't use it loosely. So for friendship in the word and by the term friendship, I do not have any. I have other citizens of different countries. Like Australia is very multicultural, like I used to say. So there are a lot of people who are our friends that are not necessarily Aussies in the word, in the term Aussies. So let's get to the next question. So the next question says, please do something on work-life balance. How often do you have family time, daily, or is it just work mainly? I like this question. I'm going to film about it in a separate video, but no, it's not work mainly. Most of my weekends, we try to spend it together as a family. Even when we can't do both days, at least one day. Maybe on Saturdays, what we do is we clean, we do all our house chores as a team, and we are all working together. And if you follow me on Instagram, most times I post our activities. Like I think last week Sunday we had lunch together, all of us. Today is my son's birthday, and we just came back from an hangout with another of his friends from school. We didn't have a party, but we just went out as a family. Although my husband didn't come with us because it was like a kids play center. But no, it's not work mainly, and prioritization is very key, especially in this country. Another thing that works for me is knowing when to say no. You can't call me for and say, Dammie, can I see this afternoon? If I've not planned it, I plan a lot. Like sometimes I plan and I'm not saying that I'm by the books. Like I don't go by, oh, this is my plan, I'm not shifting. You know what I mean? But I don't use shame to accommodate things I cannot do. or that would mess with my own family plan, or but yeah, I've already listed that as part of the video I'll film in the future. How I plan meal prepping is something that helps me a lot. It allows me to have a lot of extra time in my hands. There's just a lot of things I do that just make life easier for me, if that makes sense. So I will film a separate video for that one, but those are the few things I do. We definitely have family time. My husband does school runs. He picks the kids from school almost every day, and once he picks them back, I meet them at home. We're all together till we sleep at night. Like, there's just so many things we've incorporated in our family routine that keeps the bond going. Ma, please, studying MBA in Australia, can individual get a job? Yes, definitely. If you're on a student visa, you're allowed to work. I think, is it 40 hours per fortnight? I'm not really sure, but you're allowed to work. MBA, MSc, PhD, you're allowed to work, and you can get a job depending on the job you're looking for. I'm not saying there are different jobs, but yeah, you can get something to earn a living. Next question, Dammie, can you share your knowledge on investing in Australia? My sister, if you know, please tell me too. I don't really know much. I don't know. The very common one that I know that a lot of Africans or people around me do is investment property. A lot of people have investment property, and I think that's very capital intensive. See, I'll do a separate video on that one as well. I'll research about it. There's one I'm trying to try at the moment. I'll do my research and I'll come back on that. But the very common one is investment property, or people doing portfolio, this shares portfolio and things like that. That's what they do. I'm just trying to explore it myself, but I don't really know much, in all honesty. In Nigeria, people who do fixed deposits. Here, the return is very immaterial, insignificant. I would rather put my money in my loan offset account and, reduce the interest that is charged on my loan. So now let's get to the YouTube community hub questions. So the very first one here says, "Hi Dammie, thanks for all the effort you put into your video. I personally appreciate." Oh, you're welcome. "Please, my question is, what are the percentage of a student studying education chances of getting PR while studying?" To be honest, I don't know where to get this data, because this involves getting data and giving response to this. I don't know where you can get the details. But one thing I'll tell you for sure is it depends on the type of, the level of teaching you're studying. I don't know what particular, but recently, maybe early this year or late last year, there was high demand for early childhood teachers in Australia, and it's on the occupation list. So if we look at this together, for instance, I know I've said this occupation list several times, but I don't know if people actually get it and know what the chances are. So we're going to go over this together now. I'll put the link for this in the description box, and then I'll also put it on the screen so that you can see it for yourself at email.homeaffairs.gov.au. If you go to your screen and you just press teacher in the skilled occupation list, just put in teacher there, and then we'll go through the visas available for a teacher. So that's how, and this applies to every other person as well. So if you're looking to apply for a job, remember when the first question someone asked was, where can I find jobs? When I said Indeed, Jora, when I mentioned those, your starting point should not be finding a job. Your starting point should always be occupation list. What are the visa options available for my occupation? So if I go into, so let's start with teacher, for instance. Occupation, you find art teacher, private tutor, dance teacher, drama teacher, early childhood primary teacher. So when I said there was high demand last year, it was mainly early childhood teacher that they were looking for at the time. And most of these ones now, the visas available for early childhood teacher are 186, the employer nomination scheme visa; 189, the skilled independent subclass point tested visa; the 407, training visa; 485, temporary graduates work. So if you school here, you are able to get post-study as an early childhood teacher. So that's what 485 is. And then there's 489 provisional, there's family sponsored, there's 482, which is the employer sponsored visa, is on this list as well. So yes, there's a possibility that you would get a job. What the percentage of the probability is, I do not know. But there is there are chances that you get a job, because one, seems like a job that is in demand. Two, it is on the occupation list, eligible for 186, which is the permanent residency, and then the 482, which is the temporary And bear in mind, don't just put all your focus in just one visa stream. Try, there are other visa streams available here. For instance, you can try the 190 yourself. You can try the 189 yourself. You don't have to necessarily get the employer-sponsored visa, if that makes sense. So that's what it is for early childhood teacher. There are other teachers, middle school teacher as well. So if you look at middle school teacher now, I don't know what level of teaching, like what level you're teaching, but for middle school teacher, as you can see on your screen, 190 skilled nomination class, that's the visa available. If you remember the for when we went through early childhood teacher, the first one was 186. So this is telling you that there's no 186, there's no 186 on this one. So if I'm going for this, I would be thinking, how will I get permanent residency? Because most of the visa for this middle school teacher is just their temporary residence. Aside from the 190 you can do yourself, which is the skilled nominated subclass 190. And then there's training visa, there's 489 skilled provisional visa as well. There's 482, which is the temporary skill shortage. But this temporary skill shortage is short-term stream. So you need to also do your research, what becomes of you if you go on that visa afterwards. And then there's the 494, there's a 491, and then I think I missed out the 187. So those are the types of things you want to consider if you want to come in as a teacher to Australia. What are the visa options available? And like with teachers, like I said, it cuts into different streams and different level of teaching you'll be doing. So I think that answers your question, hopefully. And if you have further questions, please drop it in the comment section. Next person says, hi Dammie, here from Uganda. Hello. Love the way you bring my dream country to my eyes. These videos are incredible. Only looking out for one where you will take us around Brisbane suburb. I feel like I post a lot of videos when we go out, like that suburb, I don't know. But I will try and do more of those. That is noted. Thanks for the suggestion. My question is, all of the suburbs, which one is best to live in? South, east, west, or north? She has another one, but let me address that immediately. So on the suburb to live, I would say south, and because we've lived in the south and there are more like blacks, Africans, people from different other country living in the south. Like I said earlier, we went out today, we just came back and we went out with one of Tofumi's friends, and she was explaining to me how they've lived in the not when they came into Brisbane newly, but their son had challenge when he went to school and he didn't see anyone like him, and he started asking some very uncomfortable questions, and they just decided to go to where he can see people who look like him, and there's a mix. So I would say South Brisbane is one place to live. If you go to the north, best believe you're going to be living with purely Aussies, which is not a bad thing if that is what you want. But yeah, that's how it is. Like a lot of Aussies, like locals, real locals, they live in the north, while we immigrants we live in the south. And like I said, my front door neighbor is Indian, my other neighbor is New Zealand. So I think that's a good mix. But yeah, if you really want to live close to people, and so especially if you have kids and you want your kids to go to school that have like mixed set of people, so I think the south would be your best option. Another one, after the increased inflation all around, updates on cost of living for both family and single. Thank you. I think my last cost of living video was after the inflation, and I think that should have captured that. I'm looking to film another one, like updated one, maybe next month, but it's not on the table at the moment, or it's not something I've started doing because it takes a lot of discipline for me to track all our expenses. But best believe, since the last video I filmed till now, nothing has changed drastically. For cost of living for a single person in Australia, I filmed a video. I would also link that above and in the description box. I filmed a video with Lola. You can check out her channel. Her name is Ololade Oguyinka. She lives in Tasmania, Australia, and she's single, and she shared like what her cost of living looks like on a monthly basis with us. I will link that video so you can check out that video, and also check out Lolade's channel. Please guys, check out her channel. She's single and she's thriving, enjoying and living her best life in Australia. So yeah, please check out Lola's channel. Things from the point of view of a single person living in Australia. So I think after this last question, that will be the rest. I will answer it, like, because still seem like there's a lot. Oh geez, there's still a lot. this will be a two-part video, and I'm even tired myself. So let me answer the last one for this one. So this one says, "Hi Dammie, new subscriber here. What are the chances of getting a positive skills assessment if one graduated with a third class or past degree? And also, have there been cases where proof of fund is required for visa 189 or 190? Thanks." So the first part of the question says skills assessment for a third class. I don't know what the parameters or the criteria the assessing body looks at. And bear in mind, the assessing body for different occupation differs. So I can't tell you for sure this is what they look at. But what they would ask you for is your transcript and your certificate. So if they're asking for transcripts, I don't know, you know what I mean. So it shows your score for the different subjects you've taken whilst in school. But I don't know what the impact of a third class is on skills assessment. I would almost think it won't have any impact. But the best thing you would do for yourself is to reach out to the assessing body directly before you even pay. Maybe ask that question, and I think you'll be in a better position instead of paying and wasting money when you know you won't get a positive assessment. Because once they take the money, regardless of the outcome, your money is gone, and it's not change. It's not like small money. So I think it's worthwhile sending an email to the assessing body and asking them this question. And then the other question you asked us also, have there been cases where proof of fund is required for visa 189 or 190? With 189 and 190, I don't think proof of, I don't know, let's see the visa requirements. To be honest, because I didn't come on some of this visa, I do not know. So what I've done is I'll also include the link for you guys to check it out yourself. For visa 190, they are not required. There's no proof of fund as part of the requirements, right, for this visa. So the main thing is for you to meet the skills requirements, be able to score 65 points, your English language requirements, character requirements, and then all those other basic things they would check. And bear in mind, I don't think there will be an instance where they will ask you for proof of fund. The fund itself for the visa is expensive. This visa is 4,640 AUD. I think that's all you have to pay, not even proof. This one you have to pay. So and then the step is here. Check your occupation is on the skilled occupation list. Even see here, that's always the starting point for any Australian visa you want to apply for. Check that your occupation is on the skills occupation list. Submit an expression of interest in skills select. Wait for invitation to apply, gather your documents, apply for visa within 60 days of invitation. So basically, there's no proof of fund anywhere here. It's just the money you are going to pay. Because if I'm coming about this visa, stay in Australia permanently, work in Australia, sponsor your relatives, eligibility is what we've gone through earlier. Be invited to apply, be nominated, have a suitable skills assessment, be this age, and then all those good stuff. And then step by step is what we've gone through. Gather your documents. So if we say gather your documents, see the documents they're even requesting for is listed already. This is a general requirement. Let's go through it. Provide accurate information. Identity documents, which is usually your passport, relationship documents if you're married, your marriage certificate and whatnot. Character documents, which is your police report, competent English document, IELTS, PTE, partner document, dependent under 18 document, dependent over 18 document, skills assessment document, expression of interest document. Tell us you are getting help. This is something, maybe if you're withdrawing an application for someone or providing assistance to someone. So, and then prepare your documents, apply for the visa. After you apply, visa outcome, and that's it. There's nowhere here they've stated that you need to present proof of fund. But the only fund I think you need to get is the visa fee, which is $4,640. That's a lot of money for one person. So imagine if you're paying that in Naira. I'm trying to convert it to Naira to see what it is. 4,614. Jeez, 2.9 million. That is a lot of money at today's rates. Shit, Australia visa isn't cheap. 2.9 million naira, but best believe it's worth it. It's expensive. Like, thinking about it now, it is expensive, but it is worth it. So that's everything about today's video, guys. I'll answer the other one in another video. I'm really tired. And I hope this video you find it helpful. If there's any clarification on any of items I touched on, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up as usual, share it with your family and friends. Also, do not forget to turn on the notification bell. And if you're not subscribed at this stage, that's not good, that's not nice. Please ensure you do subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.